not working. What's up, Underworld?
We are back with episode 2 of season 5.
We are. Man, I feel like it's so long since we've seen you guys.
I know.
I mean, it was a weekly thing.
It was a bit of a rough month so far.
It's getting better, though.
We're working on it.
We're with you guys, so it's so much better now.
We're back.
We are. And we have a very cool guest.
We do.
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we had to postpone him last week because we almost got blown away like the Wicked Witch of Wizard of Oz. So,
yeah.
But we're here. And we don't have to click our red slippers anymore. So,
are you referring to me sending my mom? She told me you're gonna float away. I said, "Nah, witches fly," and I sent her the picture of the Wicked Witch flying around in the tornado.
But this is our guest this week. The Ghost Whispers.
Ooh.
The only thing I can think of when the Ghost Whispers is
the TV show.
Yeah.
But that's all right. That
what's that? Who plays it? It's a chick from I Know What You Did Last Summer. Seems like a 90s heartthrob thing.
I don't know. But let's
maybe they know.
Dawn and Ron.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Jennifer Love Hewitt. That's it. What's up, guys? How are y'all doing?
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you for having us.
Fantastic. Happy to be here.
I'm just glad that we didn't get blown away.
Yeah.
I'm happy you guys stayed safe. That was a horrible hurricane.
It was.
That was probably the craziest hurricane I've ever been through in my whole life.
And then afterwards, he tells me, "Hey, the garage was unlocked the whole time." That's why it rattled so much.
Which, I mean, we're still here,
fine.
So
it's not fun.
We're not in the underworld yet. You guys can't kill us that fast. So, the Ghost Whisperers.
Tell us
about you guys. Where are you from? Introduce you guys.
Well, I am Dawn Martin. I am the leader of our team, the owner of the Ghost Whisperers. We are a team of 7 investigators.
Wow.
We're going on our 3rd year of being the Ghost Whisperers, but part of my team was another team, and it was only because our owner that we were under High Heels and Hauntings, and she moved out of state, and we were wanting to still go out and do our thing, so that's how the Ghost Whisperers were formed. And then
I like that. High Heels and Haunting. That's awesome.
Yeah. Michelle, she lives down there. Well, she was living in Florida, but she's over in Virginia now.
I don't blame her. I want to leave Florida too.
It's so expensive.
As soon as hurricanes started building in the Gulf, I'm like, nope, I'm good.
We're trying to save up some money so we can move out.
So, Ron.
Yes.
Tell me, what do you do in the team? Introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Ron Winland. I did not start with the team, but I was brought into the team in May of last year. And I've just developed a true passion for the field, and haven't missed an investigation yet.
No.
That's awesome. Nice. What kind of places have you guys been to? Some big names or?
One of our favorite places, I've got a picture back here of Beale Manor. That's one of our favorite places. It's in Fremont, Ohio. And crazy active place. And Dawn and the rest of the team have been there a few times. I've been there 2 or 3 times now. That's one of my favorite places to go. This week we're going to Madison Cemetery, most of us for the 2nd time. Our teammate Doris, it's her birthday trip. She'll be going there for the 1st time. It's one of her bucket list items, so we're happy to give that to her.
That's awesome.
Early
Yeah,
birthday.
it's great.
I took her to the May Stringer house, which is the most haunted house here in Florida, for her birthday last year.
It was our plan to go there this year, but stuff
Yeah.
happened and
Stuff happens.
we had to lose our spot, unfortunately.
So, Dawn, when you started Ghost Whispers, was it just you had your own equipment and you just knew the people and was like, hey, do you want to start another team? Or
Yeah, because all of us that were on the previous team, we still wanted to go out and investigate as a team together. And some of us have been on a few teams together. I have my daughter that is on our team. She's been on it since 2020 now. So,
okay.
I love it when family supports the team.
I love that I can do that with her. And we have a
Pass
team
on your
member
knowledge.
as far as Kentucky that joins us on our
That's awesome.
investigations.
You guys said you're in Detroit, right?
Detroit,
Yes,
yeah.
we're in the Detroit area, like the little suburbs right around Detroit.
Yeah. See, that's what I like about up north more than down here in Florida. You have, no matter where you go, you have to drive 4 hours
Yeah.
to get down south or go north to get out of Florida. And it's just, you're
More than
really
4
limited.
hours.
I mean, unless you go to like the Panhandle, it's 6 hours, but you're so limited on places we can go here.
Yeah.
And like up north is so much older and so much. Do you guys go to different states or you stay local? Or
I like to call us a traveling team because we actually investigate more out of Michigan than we do inside of our own state. So we do like to go to lots of places, nearby states, Indiana, Ohio.
Yeah, you guys are
New
right
York,
across the river from Chicago.
yeah.
And
Guys are
we
like
haven't
4
been
hours
to Chicago yet, but we usually travel 6 to 7 hours to go somewhere. We've went all the way down to Ohio, West Virginia border, and then we went over into West Virginia. So, I mean, we're not opposed to traveling at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you investigate in West Virginia?
The West Virginia State Penitentiary.
Okay.
Nice.
Have you been to the old hospital on College Hill?
Not yet.
I knew this was coming.
Not
Shout
yet.
out to the old hospital.
We've had an interview with them and they were really nice.
Dude,
Oh,
yeah,
she
it was
is so
great.
sweet. I talked to her in Messenger before.
Chris
Hello,
Taylor
Chris
says,
Taylor.
hey,
Hi.
what's going on? So, it does your, before we get into the pictures, and because they're so awesome, they're great pictures. And of course, anybody that ever watches the show, they know all the videos that we do are blind reactions. So, like, our reactions to the video are 100% real. So,
We don't like to edit our stuff.
no,
our
but
videos.
do you guys do a lot of stuff on like YouTube editing wise, or do you guys like doing it live? We like doing everything live.
Yeah.
Us too. We do live feeds of our stuff. We don't like to edit because then people will think that it's faked.
Exactly.
But we catch so much great things while we're live that it's just so perfect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fake live. I don't care what anybody says. You can't do it.
There's no way.
And like, tell me I'm fake. How am I fake when all of my videos are live?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I have a computer to stream. I don't have a computer to
Look,
edit.
I have
sit here
all
and
my
edit.
fingers, so I'm not AI.
I know. Me too.
But
There's
so
a finger wiggle test to tell if you're real.
before we get into all that, has your daughter always been into it because you were into it, or does she have an abilities, or?
She does have abilities. She's had them since she was a child. Ron made the statement before she was born with the K2 meter in her hand.
Yeah.
And that was my favorite thing that anybody has ever said about her. But yeah, I mean, she was always into the paranormal since she was a little kid. She had an imaginary friend until it told her to do something bad. And that was when she cut off her ties with that. And I think that's when I noticed her having an ability to speak with things from beyond.
Right.
And as soon as she turned 18, I was like, would you like to go to Eloise Asylum with me and investigate? And she was
Oh, yeah.
really nervous about it. She knew it was, we were going to be there all day long and all night long. And she did it. And she just
Good
became
job.
hooked, and she joined
Yeah.
her first team with Lower Michigan Paranormal Society with me. And she's been
It's-
doing it ever since.
It's very true. When you get that first experience, it's just like something in your head's like, I need to know more. How did that just happen?
It
What,
does.
like,
Right.
that's how I was. Like, I was full into the paranormal. I talk about it all the time, like all the time.
I always
But-
knew about ghosts. I always knew about ghosts when I was little. I always saw a face of a man in the mirror, or like in the window behind my house, or like saw my grandparents, or little instances where I knew someone was gone, but they were there.
Now, do you
love
guys?
to use Ron as an example because he was so skeptical when he joined the team. He didn't have none of these experiences, and now he's had dozens, and
Yeah.
it made him like really.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you guys are going to Madison and Eloise, that's definitely calling to get a haunting.
You're finding.
Yes.
I mean, the shirt that I'm wearing the administration building for Pennhurst on my shirt right now.
I'm just wearing the Grim Reaper with cats.
So, let's get into one of the pictures.
Okay.
Now, this is something you guys do. You guys go to cemeteries and clean tombstones, and
Yeah, we just left in an investigation that morning and went straight to the cemetery to help out the Historical Society clean stones in the cemetery. And I mean, it's great. Me and my daughter have a real big passion for cemeteries, so we're always going to them, picking up the trash and taking care of the stones. And it's important to us to, to educate people and let them know it's not wrong to go there and remove,
Right.
things from a cemetery when they're old and beat up, and freshen it up with new things. And
Yeah. I've always wanted to do it. I just never have. Maybe we should start doing that. That'd be
Yeah.
really cool.
you could start school just picking up trash.
Yeah.
We go
Well,
to cemeteries all the time.
I see a video. I don't know if it was a Facebook video or TikTok or what it was, but the guy was sitting there cleaning a little girl's headstone, and he had he had a SB7 or SB11 going while he was cleaning the tombstone,
I think
and you
Little
can hear a
girl.
little girl saying, "Thank you, clean."
Yep.
Like, yeah, it was clear as day. So maybe that's a video we
Yeah.
could do. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Really bring them out.
We have a portal.
Mhm.
So bringing the portal out it worked a little bit the last cemetery we went to.
Hello.
Not really, but
You did that comment.
I think the more you go to a place, the more the spirits will recognize you, though, and they're more willing to talk to you too.
Yeah.
Especially
if it's
cemetery.
stranger.
we did an investigation at a barber shop here in Bradenton, and that's what I told the owner. I was like, nothing really happened. A cat ball went off. I can't really say that's paranormal,
Yeah.
Right.
but this is literally the first time that we're here and introduced ourselves. And I mean, if you guys want us back, we'll come back for sure. But
Right.
you have to build that kind of relationship. Like with you being a tour guide, they definitely know you.
Yeah.
Like that's be the first person I come to, be like, hey, walk around there, talk to the ghosts, and tell them who we are and what we're doing. And they have more of an interaction that way. I see it that way, at least. Do you guys do like group investigations? Do you bring people in to do investigations, or is it kind of just your team?
Mostly our team, but we have talked about bringing in our skeptical friends or just plans with us for next year. We get asked all the time, can we do this with you guys? And so we
So do
said
we.
we thought of a few locations that we wanted to take people to.
Yeah.
A few coworkers that watch every single video he makes, and they're like, I just got to go there. So it is something, and we can educate them and teach them and not to be afraid of the paranormal and give them
Yeah.
understanding. That's gratification.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like it's like passing the torch. Like, here, I know this is real.
Yeah.
Go into that room for about an hour and let me know what
Yeah.
happens.
Right.
If nothing happens, I mean, sorry, but when you get that experience, I promise you're gonna want to do this again.
Yes.
But do you have any questions before we get into this? I really, I like. We don't usually put the paranormal stuff to the bottom and we go over the other pictures, but I really want to know these two pictures, the story of it.
No, I'm good.
All right, cool. So there's two different pictures. So do you want to explain where you were and what this was? Before we get
This is in Felicity, Ohio, at the Broadwell Funeral Home.
Okay.
So we had just got there. This was the place that we went to that was right on the border of West Virginia and Ohio.
Okay.
We took a side detour and went to see the outside of Bobby Mackey's, and then we drove just a few minutes to Felicity, and this was our investigation for the weekend. So when we got there, as every investigation, I always start taking pictures of the outside of the building, and I love taking pictures of windows to see if I can capture anything. Well, those pictures right there were taken back to back, and first picture showed a figure in the window, and I stepped back and took another picture, and it wasn't there.
Wow.
That's
And there was
crazy.
nobody in the building at the time. We were all still outside waiting to go in. So yeah, that was hard to explain.
And what was your thought when you saw these pictures? I always ask that to everybody that gets pictures of the paranormal. What do you think when you saw that?
I was just like, whoa, I think I got something. And I believe I asked Savannah, Dawn's daughter, to take a look at it. I think she was the first one that saw it. And she's like, holy cow, I think you got something. And I started showing it around, and, we were all in agreement that, it very well could be something paranormal.
Yeah.
I've had a picture that looks just like that kind of black figure that was behind me when I was in Pennsylvania. I love showing that picture of a black shadow figure behind me, but it looks exactly the same, completely black during the day. Like I know it's in a dark room in a dark house, but you see somebody's face looking out a window during the day. You'll see a face.
I mean, what's darker than a lightless room?
Now, did you get anything else from that funeral home that day, or was it?
We did.
Go ahead. Sorry.
We did get some activity on the main floor as well as the basement. I believe we had got some great EVPs from there. As photos, no more, just the one shadow man, but it was still a great place to go to.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Now, this is a place that I really, really want to go to. And this is Madison Seminary. I can't ever say. That's why I just call it Madison.
Don't worry, it's dyslexic. Okay.
How many times have you guys been there? Do you have any crazy stories from there, or?
Well, we actually just went there August 7th. My teammate Ron bought the investigation for my 50th birthday for us to go. We're going back this Thursday night because just a few months ago, it was so crazy active that we have to compare our evidence to what we had even beforehand. We got to investigate some with the amazing Jeff Fent. He
Wow.
surprised me. That was another birthday gift from Ron, is to arrange that
That's awesome.
meeting. We just had so many things that happened there that were so unexplainable. I mean, disembodied voices in your ear while Ron was using the restroom.
Oh my God.
He had a ghost
wow.
whisper in his ear, bad word, a-hole.
That is literally every investigator's like worst dream right there.
I mean, I
Like,
guess
it's
if
a good
it
thing
scares
you're-
the Pete out
Yeah,
of
I
you,
was gonna
then
say
you're
it's good that
already
you're
there.
already on the toilet, I guess. You know.
And it was so odd because we were in the lavatories on the second floor, I believe it was, and they were out of commission. You don't use them, but we
Yeah.
were in there trying to do EVPs, and we started hearing a knock. So we would ask them to do it again, and they would, and we would say something to try to get an EVP, and it was nonstop. No matter what we did, we were getting like the greatest evidence. Room by room, it was just very active.
That's awesome. Now these are some of the pictures of
That what Rudy, they don't know who carved it into the floor, so it could have been one of the people that stayed there before. But
I was
in
gonna
the
ask
room
you.
of the attic,
Oh wow.
you could hear something dragging on the floor. So I would take a few more steps, and then you would hear that dragging noise coming every time you took a few steps away. It would.
So it's like somebody's carving
absolutely.
something in the door, or
It sounded like something moving across the floor, but after I would take 4 or 5 steps and then stop, I can hear the dragging after I would stop. And so it was following us. And I
wow.
told him I had such a fear of dread over by the picture with the dental chair. I tried to go down to that part of the hallway, and it was so completely dark and quiet and eerie that I got all the way down to the room, but I couldn't go in there at that point. It was just like I couldn't get myself to go in there, and I'm the most daredevil on the team, going into small crawl spaces, holes. I'm always, they're always thirst on.
No.
Well, I don't know about crawl spaces because I'll never get back out of
He's
them.
a big
But
dude.
but no, you're a little person.
You gotta pay me
That's
to
all
sit
you.
down.
Hey, but no, I'm the daredevil too. I'll go anywhere by myself. I
You
always
guys
have been.
upstairs in the place that I'm scared to go upstairs in.
Yeah. So is this part of Madison also?
What is
Yes.
That's why I was wondering, why is this part blocked off?
I know when the team Ghost Hunters went out there, they had brought a ground penetrating radar to scan over that room because they had got a hit. Well, the hit was actually over to the left, I want to say, but on the screen it would be to the right where we're at. But they had to decide where to dig. Well, they chose this spot. Unfortunately, they didn't get nothing in that spot because the hit was over a little bit. But
Yeah.
the room was so active, and they actually did see something on the radar underground. So they kind of built that metal wall up around it so people couldn't get inside of there and dig around.
Right. Now, these pictures, like, do you have a photographer, or is it kind of just you guys taking random pictures, or?
That's us just taking our pictures
Oh, I
during
was
our
going to say, these
walk.
pictures are awesome.
I don't like that.
Why? What's wrong with
I
that?
don't like that.
Why?
I don't know.
I'd sit in it.
No.
I would try to sit in it. I'd probably break it, but
at nighttime. It's There's no street lights, so everything is just as dark as can be. So you
Yeah.
literally just have your flashlight. And you know, us as paranormal investigators, we want to be strong and tough and go into these places until you get that dreadful feeling in your stomach and you're like,
Yeah.
something's telling me not to go in here. The only room I didn't get a picture of, I don't believe, is the Devil's Playground room. And that is a room that was built, and the dimensions are 6 by 6 by 6, but it's all mirrors. So it's
Oh, wow.
essentially a big scrying portal.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Do they have reports of portal activity or?
yes. You want to talk about that, Ryan?
You go ahead, dude. Jeff Fent posted about it, and I read the post, but I don't remember everything about it.
I don't remember all the details, but I do know that he had a few friends that he trusted. It's a well-trusted team and individuals that went to go and find the Devil's Playground room, and they couldn't find it. They said, "Are you sure it was right there? Because I walked into this room and went into a closet and it was a door that led to another room." But that's not the case. So they're wondering if there's like a portal or an other dimension, because people have tried to find the room, but when you go to find it, it just kind of disappears. It's making it seem like a maze. So they're going to be conducting experiments with that room to see if they can test that theory. So I'm really hoping we can get more information about that Thursday night also.
Yeah. Maybe put some sensors or something, or a grid. I don't know if you have a laser grids or anything.
Well, it's just a really tiny room, and I mean, it would be hard to miss. It's inside of like a bedroom, so it's like almost like a closet, but the dimensions are 6 by 6 by 6.
Yeah.
But
And there's no going anywhere. Once you get in there, I mean, there's no doors or anything like that. It's just mirrors. So, yeah.
I have a panic attack.
It's definitely not for everyone, but we talked about it. We're going to do an Estes method in there, and Ron and myself are going to go in there and try to like scry what we're in there.
Yeah.
So we have a few things that we're willing to see if we can test our boundaries.
Yeah, we do a double SS method with our SB11. And it seems to work out every time that we go. We start talking to each other.
As long as we don't have the REM pod right next to the SB11.
Yeah.
Because I usually end up getting feedback that.
Well, that's what we had one person saying that, oh my God, the REM pod was going off. I was like, I know, the walkie's going off. Of course it's going to go off. But like, that's what we try to explain to people while they're like, oh my God, this is happening. I'm like, yeah, but she just hit me up on the radio. So, I mean, there's that frequency that's breaking that barrier.
We tried to debunk our own stuff.
Is this part of the seminary too, or?
Yes, we took that picture when we were doing the tour. I wanted to take pictures of them, see if we could catch any anomalies while we were walking through the hallways. But you could tell there's doors on each side. So a lot of the doors closed. So it is like a maze when you get up there, unless you know exactly where you're at. You probably will get lost in there. It's a very big building, and it has Civil War ties. So it's different layers on layers. I think it's like a beacon for spirits to come through from everywhere, to just go there to be heard. I mean, on my birthday, I asked them to tell me happy birthday, and they did. They came through the
That's awesome.
Yes.
Nice.
I mean,
I've gotten good night.
Yeah, leaving the Stringer house after we did the investigation on my friend's portal We were walking out. We're like, all right, good night. And on the portal, it's like, good night. While we were walking out, I was like, all right, that's cool. That's an awesome way to end the night.
Really cool.
Had the flashlight
Yeah.
going off and on. To
Oh,
answer
yeah.
my questions.
Like right before they said goodnight, we had like a 5-minute conversation with the flashlight
Making sure they
and the
stay
doctor's
there.
office. Like, are you happy that we're here? The light would go on, shut it off.
Are you gonna stay here?
Are you gonna stay here? Light would go on and shut off.
Are
I'm
we
like,
safe to come back? Light goes on, shuts off.
and
Can you
we're-
say goodnight and we'll leave?
we were
Okay,
literally
yeah.
a good 7 feet away.
Yeah.
Like just standing in the hallway with our arms crossed, just staring at it.
Of course, my phone was dead because we used it as a hotspot all night.
Right.
You guys have, I know that's happened to me. We did an investigation in a tunnel, and after you put all the investigation away, you put all the equipment away, you're just standing there. That's the most craziest things happen right when you shut everything off.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a story for that, or?
I feel like it happens to me a lot when we're going to bed. I bunk with our teammate Doris, and we were at Father John's. It's like a bar church. It was a church that was converted into a restaurant bar now. And there was a crypt that's in the ground. They put plexiglass over it so you could see it, and this really cool cross table hanging over it. Well, we were in the bed, and there's a latch to the attic door, and it latches at the floor. So you would have to pull it up and twist it, one of the old school.
Yeah.
And just the closet door came open, and it actually leads up to the attic. And I jumped on top of Doris, held her down like, oh my God, what is that? And our favorite place, Beale Manor, the last time Doris, I, and Ron were there, it happened again. The closet door opened up on us, and we don't open the closets in the bedroom. They're usually just storage or something. And I got so freaked out because normally we're used to them playing with our feet there or things like that. We were in twin size beds, and after that door popped open, I'm like, Ron, you can't sleep with us. I'm like, this room is just wild. And I think a lot of our activity, when you let your guard down for the night, is when you really get rushed over with.
Right. Even, you're starting your paranormal hangover.
Yeah.
That's what I like calling it.
4 or 5 in the morning when they really want to play and you're ready for bed.
Yeah. Do you have a crazy story like that, Ron, or?
Yeah, my craziest story that I have, I love to tell it, is we were in a location in Indiana, and we had been investigating this location every couple weeks for months. And it's a location that hasn't been brought to the public. So I can't disclose anything about it. But we had just laid down to bed. Dawn was with Doris. It was just the 3 of us for this investigation. They were on one air mattress, I was on another, and so I'm laying there and I'm drifting off to sleep, and 3 times I hear Dawn call my name, and after the 3rd time, Doris pops up out of bed and says, "Why do you keep calling Ron?" And Dawn wakes up and she's like, "I wasn't, I'm falling asleep here, and I'm trying to sleep, and you would have heard me." But the scariest part of that, though, is that's not even the scary part. That freaked me out. But after that was done, they're asleep. I'm laying in bed and I'm hearing conversations. Like I'm hearing people talking, and I'm like walking all over this building trying to figure out where this is coming from, because it was like a residual conversation. It didn't even seem intelligent to me. It was just the 2 people talking, maybe even 3 people talking, and I'm walking all around with my flashlight just trying to see if there's anything running that might sound like it. But no, that I woke Dawn up, flashing my flashlight in her eye, and she's like, "Why are you flashing that in my eyes?" I said, "Because I'm freaked out right now. I'm trying to find this conversation." So that was my scariest moment. And there was nothing running, and so yeah, our guard was let down, and I did experience that. So
Yeah.
that was fun.
I feel like, I don't know if you guys watch Project Fear with Dakota and Chelsea and Tanner.
Yeah.
We love them.
We love that show.
I love them.
If you guys are watching this, I mean, we love you guys. But that's what they do. They go to sleep and they separate for like 4 hours, and I feel like that's supposed to heighten your fear and bring
Let
you
your
back
guard
out.
down.
Yeah. We haven't slept in a haunt yet. Not yet.
I'm not going to.
I want to.
There's
We
nothing
usually
like it.
don't go anywhere where we can't stay the night.
Yeah.
That's our thing.
I feel like the jail that we go to, he would let us.
It would be so uncomfortable though.
I'm willing to try it.
You just throw an air mattress down and
Yeah.
Oh no, it's
rest
so
for a
hot
few
in there.
hours. It's
Oh.
at that resting point where I think the energy from the spirits, when you're letting your guard down that way,
Yeah.
relax and go to sleep, I think that's when you really get a good amount of activity.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
no.
The jail that we go and investigate, it's the old Gilchrist County Jail here in Trenton, and our friend Henry owns it, and I don't know if I want to let my guard down in that jail.
I had my guard up and I got attacked.
Yeah, I had my guard up. I asked for protection. I got hit so hard in the chest I couldn't breathe for like 20 minutes. So she's been rushed and choked.
I don't go upstairs.
And then my friend Ryan was filming while she was explaining her getting rushed and choked. And as soon as she said, "I just got choked," and we have an EVP that says, "I did it."
Oh,
I did.
Oh, I did. Like literally straight answers, straight right away. I'm like, oh, come on.
Like, yeah,
there's
I did it.
verification.
So I'm really curious if I have the guts for it. I can tell you that much, but I
do not.
I don't know. But we'll get into, I guess this is the daughter since it's the youngest.
That is Savannah. She's the youngest member on our team. That is my daughter. This is outside of Madison with Adam Kimmel's dogs. They were just too sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's our
puppy.
youngest.
That's awesome. Now, what were you guys doing here? Oh, this is where that little dugout area is. I can see from the railing.
Yeah.
Do you guys get anything off of that since they broke that seal? They broke ground? Is either one?
Oh, go ahead, Ron.
I'm not sure where. I'm not sure where this picture.
Oh, it was the whole. This.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of K2 activity there. In that hole, I've watched videos where people actually went beyond the barrier there and was looking at it, but we didn't do that. We're very respectful of the properties. Not saying that others aren't. They might have had permission to go. But we didn't, and so we didn't go on the other side of that. But we got our arms in there with our K2s, and we were getting some feedback through that.
I didn't know if anything happened after they broke the seal and like released just Earth.
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
You have to go back.
I was gonna say, if you find out this weekend, let me know.
Oh, I will.
I think this is another. Oh, this is another picture of Madison Is that part of the attic, or is that the basement, or
That's
That
in
is the attic.
what kind of activity happens in the attic?
We actually never made it back up to the attic. We were getting activity in different spots, and then, I mean, you only get the place to 4 a.m. and we investigated up into that point, but
Yeah.
sometimes you just get stuck in a room for hours because
Yeah.
the activity is so good and the spirits are talking.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were rushing around trying to spread our love around the building. So we're pretty excited about going back to we got a plan this time. We know the layout, so we know
Right.
where we're going and what
Yeah.
we're going to do.
Nice.
Now, definitely let me know, like, when we go to the jail. I've been there like 4 or 5 times. She's been there a couple times now. 3. And they've made it plain clear that they remember us. They know who we are.
Oh yeah.
They don't like me there
They
at
don't like
all.
them. They don't like him. They're all right with me as long as I'm not with him.
Definitely let me know if that is like if they remember you, or you get something that says
Either of your names.
I mean,
or ask, hey, do you remember us?
Yeah.
Or no.
If they did. I mean, it's only been a few months. Hopefully
Yeah.
they remember.
We've gotten
We
a lot
did.
of that from other investigations. So the same place I was talking about in Indiana,
Okay.
Dawn and I used to have our names called out quite a bit, quite often. You know, they called out to me by first and last name, and I never once said my last name on an investigation. You know, any investigation. You know, so they would call our names out on the spirit box, and they got to know us quite a bit because of the whole team. Dawn and I never miss an investigation there, but you know, we would take every investigation. We'd have a different part of the crew, and not I think there was one time that the whole team was able to coordinate and go at once. So they got to know us pretty well, and you know, every time we went there, we didn't, you know, we'd tell them, "Hey, we're back," you know, and so we did get to know the spirits there really well by name. We researched the names that were coming through our spirit box and associated them with the lodge, and that was a pretty incredible experience.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a little sneak peek. I didn't mean to click on that. So anybody that saw that, that's up next.
I think
But I really want you this while we're speaking of this and like we're talking about ghosts remembering. Do you want to explain what happened with your dowsing rods with Ryan and Henry? Yeah. I was if you saw in the intro, I was upstairs doing the Delco and Estes method up in the jail, and they were downstairs. So I'll let her explain that.
I'm trying to figure out where to start.
You guys are using dowsing rods and talking and remembering.
Yeah. Wait, I asked them if they wanted to do like a little dowsing rod session, like just the 3 of us with the strongest dowsing rod answers. Because Henry and our friend Ryan get the strongest answers on their dowsing rods. And I got a set from my mom for Christmas, it was for my birthday. But I started asking them, do you remember us? Do you remember the guy upstairs? And it kept saying yes for all the answers. I asked, do you remember what happened to me last time? It answered yes. It was the spirit who did that to me here with us tonight. Said yes. Are you gonna say sorry for what you did to me? Instantly, everybody's dowsing rods falling apart, saying as if to say, "Hell no, no, I'm not gonna say sorry."
Every time they would say something, they would all 3 of them would cross at the same time.
Oh,
and they're like, "Are you going to be nice to the guy upstairs?"
Yeah,
and it literally just flew out.
No, they said, "Yeah, we'll be nice, but we're not going to say sorry."
Yeah. So
we
All
have
right.
multiple people using the dowsing rods at the same time.
yeah.
I've never done that. I like it.
That's pretty cool because you see if you can get the same answers as everybody else, and if the answers are consistent, you know that you're getting an honest,
Yeah.
spiritual answer instead of us just like accidentally crossing the rods.
And like Henry, the one that owns the jail, he's made it historical now. It's a historical landmark.
Good for him.
So he's done his research. He knows the names to call, and it's a very, very, very active. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've
had cat balls go off and all like he set them up in every other cell, and they were all going off at the same time, nonstop.
We haven't released any of that. That was the last investigation. We set it up. We had one in cell 4, and it was just going off, and I didn't know if it was because the floor was like not level. So it was going off, and then it would go off, and it just wouldn't stop. It just kept cycling. And I'm like, all right. And it's been known that they turn anything off. Like anything that lights up, they'll turn on.
I even went up there and turned them off.
Yeah,
like,
we turned them off,
turned them on. Reset them, and they went off as soon as I left.
I did it at 4. I did it at every other
2, 4,
cell.
6, and 8.
And one would go off, and then all the other 3 would go off at the same time. And they would all shut off, and then they would all go off at the same time again. And I was like, I mean, unless my cat balls are going crazy and like not working all at the same time. We don't know it.
Right.
But we haven't released that yet, so
coming soon.
Yeah, you have to watch this to know that now.
Yeah.
I guess. But I want to know about this picture because I've been saved. Actually, there's 2 more pictures. There's one for you, Ron.
Okay.
Because I want to know about this one. But you used to be a tour guide, and you said you got this pictured on.
I did. So
that is so cool.
I believe it was a patient on the women's ward in Eloise Hospital, and her arms are actually like pressed up against a wall because in the hallway they would have to keep their arms up to walk down the hallway so you weren't attacking an orderly or a nurse or a doctor. And it looks like she had on a long gown, like you could see it down at her feet, how long it went down. And I was standing at the other end of the hallway. It was on the 4th floor of the ward in the K Beard building. And you got the eerie feeling. So you start taking the pictures, and this was one of the photos that we had captured that night.
You can tell it's different from your shadow.
Yeah. I was incredibly surprised.
I'd be running to whoever I saw and be like, dude, look at this.
Do it again.
Yeah.
Come here. We need to reenact this. Come here right now.
I was up there alone. There was nobody else on the floor with me. It was after the investigations were all done for the night, the group, the public ones, and we were just taking our time, sweeping the floors and, doing our own investigating at that time. And it was quite incredible. And it was the very first of many, many that I would capture there.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm sure it's not your first and only.
No.
Oh.
One of my favorite captures, though, that I've ever.
Oh, I don't blame you. That's like the picture, famous picture of the old hospital in College Hill. That's what it was. It was just a lady taking random pictures of the hospital, and they caught a picture of a nun walking into the building.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I trust my gut more than anything during investigation.
I wish I could have taken pictures.
It's your instinct, man. It's telling you. Your body's telling you to do something.
I believe that.
The Stringer house.
Yeah. I know exactly what that feeling is too, because I've had that feeling when I was at Penhurst, it's like you just something walked up behind me, and I was like, "Yeah, no, this isn't
No,
this is awesome."
but no.
Let me tell you this first. This is awesome. But this is the strangest feeling I've ever felt in my life. And then 5 minutes later, we heard whistling. We were just walking through the museum area, and that's the known thing of that building is the patients used to just whistle.
Oh.
And that's, I'll never forget that whistle ever.
Eerie.
Oh, I want to go back to Penhurst so bad. I've been there 3 times.
I've never been.
But if you ever get to go to Penhurst, I know how haunted Eloise is. It's pretty up there. That's what I tell people. You want to go find ghosts and you want to go get experience, go to Penhurst. You're guaranteed. No, nothing in paranormal is guaranteed, but
Penhurst is.
Some of them are more likely.
Oh yeah, yeah. Penhurst
You
is
have a
not
better-
for a first time investigator or you just want to go get a thrill. Cool, but
Yeah.
Now I want to go.
yeah, dude. If you ever get to go to Penhurst, definitely go.
Yeah.
But there's 2 more pictures I want to show. Where is this, and what were you doing, Ron? Was this kind of just a picture, just cool, or?
Taking it
Yeah.
back.
So that was my first time at Eloise, and I got to go there for my birthday last year. And this was on the 5th floor, hydroelectric tub. You can see the controls for it right behind me there. And I mean, you know what that's for. I mean, they're trying to cure these people that aren't insane, but were probably driven insane by the treatment that they received. So I just thought it would be cool to sit in that tub because I had never seen one before. And we were investigating while I was in there. I was left alone in there for a little bit, and I did have a cat ball going off. I didn't get any EVPs at that time, but it was a very cool experience, and that's probably my favorite floor of Eloise. A lot of shadow people. You can be caught up there and seeing right outside of that room there. You can't see it from this picture. There's that's real close to the lobotomy room, and there's an elevator there that only the doctor would use. It's just like a 1-person elevator, and they would come up and come out of the elevator, perform the lobotomy, and leave. Not even saying a word, just come up, did the job, and left. And that was my favorite. That was actually my favorite part of Eloise, is that part with the tub and the lobotomy room.
Yeah, we drove to Maryland when I lived in Pennsylvania, and we talk about it all the time. Urban exploring. We don't condone it now, but we're teenagers and we were bored. So
As teenagers do.
We didn't break in. There was already windows missing. So I found this tub, and I sat in that tub by myself, and 3rd or 4th floor all by myself. Everybody left to a different building, and there was 2 doorways on either side, and literally seeing shadows peek around the corner, and I literally saw a shadow go across the doorway. I heard giggling, I heard talking. It was the coolest little hour that I ever spent in the tub in my life.
And what was that? What was the building? Was it a former hospital?
It was, from what I was told, it was an old mental hospital.
Okay.
It looks like a hydrotherapy tub.
Yeah.
Pedestal. It's kind of like how Eloise is.
Yeah. From what I was told, it was an asylum. It was a hospital. It was old sheriff's building, and it's been a lot of things, but it was in the middle of nowhere in Maryland. Like the people, my friends up in Pennsylvania knew where it was, and I was like, "Cool, let's go." We have nothing else to do. But I saw the tub picture with you, so I wanted to show you my tub
I
picture.
love it.
Oh, let me. I have it backwards. Hold on. So I want to get into where what happened to you guys when you were like your first experience that got you into the paranormal?
Dawn?
Well, my first experience was a child living in Detroit on the east side with my dad and my stepmom. We lived in a very haunted house. I didn't know about residual hauntings. So I was hearing the same footsteps going up all 13 stairs every night, stopping in front of my sister and my door. And we would get so scared. We got a gun. We got a baseball bat. We're just young kids. We're just petrified. And it wasn't until my aunt moved in she had psychic abilities. She told my dad, this house is haunted. There's something upstairs. These girls are not crazy. And that's when I first had my first paranormal experience, but it wasn't until I became an adult when I started doing investigations with family down in West Virginia. And I'm like, I really like this. I felt drawn to it. We were always just doing EVPs. Like I never had any photographic. All I knew was to do was EVPs. And then we went up to Houghton Lake and did a little bar up there, and the EVPs and were insane. And I think that was really my little push I needed, but it was after I started working at for Eloise is when I said, I'm going to join a team. I want to do this full time, and I want to make sure I keep up with this. And that back in 2017, and I'm still going strong on a team.
That's awesome.
And our team, a lot of people say it, but we are like family. We talk every day. We chat every day. We do things together outside of our team. And so I think that friendship, and it helps to trust your people that you're going with. Absolutely. More than having somebody you don't trust. I know that if they tell me something, I know that that's golden word, because nobody would ever fake anything on my team. They know we would all debunk it on them. We do private investigations quite often, and we like to know that, what we're capturing is real. And so it's a lot of trust. So.
Got ya. Now, before we get into what got you into it, Ron, I want to play a couple videos and then we'll get into yours.
Okay.
Because it's already, I didn't realize we've been talking an hour already. It doesn't even feel like an hour.
No.
Sarah's feeling it.
Yeah, my dad's feeling it.
Sarah's getting that hour twitch.
Yeah.
Guys, getting that hour twitch. At least that's what I call it. You gonna survive?
I gotta stretch. I'm very uncomfortable.
So when we play this, the volume will mute, and then after we come back, we'll have a conversation about it.
Okay.
Hold
that
on.
was cool.
Hold on. I think I missed something.
I did not.
Hold on. Yeah, no, definitely didn't see that.
I did.
That is awesome. Where is that?
That is at the Beale Manor.
Wow.
We had three of us, Ron, myself, and Doris there that night. We were all on the second floor in the doll room, crib room, and we had these cameras set up in Daisy's room, one of the owners of the house that passed away in the house. And we know
Right.
that she's very active on her floor, but to have the shadow peek into frame, set off
Yeah.
the REM pod, every piece of equipment we had out was activated by that shadow person, and then it left.
Yeah, that was cool.
That
We
is,
sent it to the owner, and he loved it.
yeah, absolutely. I think that's a top runner of the Boyd House.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know.
Was that the Boyd House? That's not the Boyd House.
The Boyd House with the shadow figure coming out of the
Oh,
doorway.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Maybe that's what we need to do at the end of the year.
All
Is
our
having
best
a
little clips.
having a shadow off.
Yeah.
I don't.
Top 10 shadow figures.
We had gotten two that night, two
Wow.
different shadow figures. That one kind of almost looked like he had a hat on. Not saying
Yeah.
it was Batman, but I'm saying it does look different than the other one we captured.
Yeah.
Got ya. That's
That's
wow.
cool.
It's one of our
I love
favorite
watching
captures.
these. I love the blind reaction part of it. Like I'm like, whoa.
I had to show
I
him where
still
it
get
was.
like that every time I watch it.
Yeah,
I
that is
know.
awesome. All right, let's play one more.
Oh, hold on.
Hold on.
We asked Ron a question before we played that last video. How he
Huh?
got into it.
Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry. I just went
He has
completely blank.
ADHD. I meant to
It's
ask for
okay.
your turn. How did you get
what?
into
Yeah,
the
how did you get into
paranormal?
the paranormal and get into this crazy journey?
Decide to be an investigator even though you were skeptical?
So I had some experiences as a child, and the first experience that I remember was similar to what you were saying about your grandmother. I was in bed one night, and I woke up and I saw my grandma. She was at the side of my bed, and then I had two brothers, and she left the side of my bed, walked around, and looked at both of my brothers, and then walked out. And then the next morning, I found out that she had passed away that
Wow.
night. Yeah. So that was my first experience, and then as a teenager, I had experiences working at a summer camp in Colorado that was on Indian ground. And I had a few different experiences there, and I wasn't the only one. That land was very active, and most of it was Indian related.
Right.
I had seen what appeared to be a like an old fur trader trapper, complete with a lamp, like an oil lamp. And that was the extent of my experiences at that time. As an adult, I didn't really experience anything that I can remember.
Right.
And then my brother and I, we started, well, back it up a little bit. So I didn't even really know that ghost hunting was a thing, ghost investigating. I didn't know it, until, as a lot of people got started, ghost hunters came out, and it was
Yeah.
really cool and interesting and stuff. And I was like, man, I want to try that. So my brother and I, we used to go to cemeteries, and we would catch some evidence there with our voice recorders, and that's in our cameras. And I caught mists, and we caught EVPs, and it was very cool. And then that was just something that we did once in a while. And then a couple years ago, one of our teammates, Jennifer, her and I used to work together, and she was on High Heels and Hauntings and then they became the Ghost Whisperers. And she talked to them about bringing me on. They met up with me one time, and apparently they liked me. So they invited me onto the team, and it's been great ever since. My first investigation was at the Davies House in Kokomo, Indiana, followed the next night at the Indiana State Sanitarium. So I dove headfirst into
thrown
it.
in.
Yeah.
So,
You got thrown into the deep end right away.
yeah, and I love it. I loved it. I can't think of anything else I'd rather do. If I could quit my job and just investigate, I would love it.
Me and you both, brother. Me and you both. I don't
mean,
want to go to work every day.
I were going to the same location every 2 weeks, and it was a 4-hour drive, and we were putting in all the hard work. He's a fantastic researcher. I mean, we all have our little things that we do on the team, but he's like my number one researcher besides myself.
Historian.
So, I couldn't do it without him now.
That was going to be I was going to play another video, and that was going to be my question. What was everybody's role? Like, I know you're the leader. You're the owner, or not owner, creator of Ghost Whispers. So are you more of like a historical guy, or
he's more like the historian?
Historian, that's what it was. I've had a really long day.
I have to, and I'm like trying really hard to keep my eyes open right now.
Other than being an investigator, do you guys, that's one of the things that I love about investigating is the history of it. Doing the research, learning the stuff, and then going to the location and getting the name that you just researched, and it's awesome to me. I love it.
Yeah.
We even like to go a step farther. Sometimes we'll find that name we research and then try to find their grave, and go to get that whole full circleness of the investigation. We really like to put in the work.
Yeah,
we've done that with the Manatee Cemetery.
Yeah, that she was walking around the Manatee Cemetery. It's from 1803, and she's like, a lady died here during birth, and the child's buried with her.
A very important woman.
And
I looked through the pamphlet.
There's a pamphlet, and there's the history of every grave that's in that cemetery.
Like all the founders of the town.
And the very first one was a lady died in miscarriage, and the baby died. She died during childbirth because the baby's head got stuck, and the child ended up passing away too. So she was buried with her child, and I felt like I got stabbed in the stomach. So I started looking around. I go through her pamphlet. There she is. And there's her grave. Hi. Yeah.
Wow. Like, not even like 15, 20 feet away from where I felt that.
As soon as we walked in the cemetery, she's like, there's somebody that was here that died while giving birth. And literally, we found her grave in
like 15 minutes
literally
later.
The same thing.
Yeah.
I was like,
like, you can't fake that. Like, I was just la-di-da, walking around. I was feeling fine. We were walking back. I was like, hold up. Stop.
She's my little beacon.
Yeah.
I love when they
follow her
so well like that, too. And it makes you feel better knowing that you can find out validate what you are feeling.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's also the people you're with and the energy that the whole team gives off.
Yes.
Like, I know it's just me and her that do an investigation. So, like, we live together, we're together, we're in a relationship. So we have that crazy bond. Mm-hmm. Before she got attacked in the jail, I knew she was in distress, even with the blindfold on. I took it off. I was like, where's Sarah? What is wrong with Sarah? And a second later, she comes running up to me. I'm like,
yeah.
So,
that intuition.
Intuition. That's it. But
right.
We're going to do a couple more videos.
Yeah.
I'm just babbling now.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me.
We would be okay to that time, and then I would be in a freak out. At that time.
She's gonna be your bed buddy.
Play that again?
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to turn up the sound
That's
bar.
okay, because we'll tell you.
Sorry.
What were you saying? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We would be okay to that time, and then I would be in a freak out. At that time.
She's gonna be your bed buddy.
So we were getting ready for bed. This was a private location, the one we were going to quite often.
Yeah.
And it was built in 1858. The first part of the EVP, we believe it said, now we have shots. We don't know if they were talking about, was it the war that was happening, the Civil War that was happening, because it was right down the street from a very famous battlefield, or were they talking about it because it was also used as a pharmacy, you know, makeshift hospital at times. So that we never figured out, but these were the EVPs, and we would hear them with our ears at times, and we were just laying down to go to bed. It would be 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and that's when we would really start hearing these voices. So we had so many of them, and that's when Ron was hearing his name and me saying his name. There was doppelgangers there that would mimic your voice or pretend to be you, coming with your voice through spirit radios.
Yeah. I knew I heard something. I would have to play it a couple more times to hear it. But
now that we told you, now we got shots, you'll be able to hear it that way.
Yeah.
Maybe they got this. Maybe they're saying they have a shot because now you're going to bed.
Yeah.
Probably.
This is our shot.
Yeah.
Maybe. Not to put that in your head or anything, you know. Just
Oh, definitely putting in
crazy. So I'm assuming that's a good sign.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Can you come light those up? Holy.
Oh, they shut them off when you said that.
Whoa.
Maybe we need to do more TikToks.
I can say, just being an investigator and watching it, like the very first one with them like wrestling around on the box, that could set off the vibration to go, but just setting them there on the board and stepping away,
and then
that's
stopping as soon as you ask them to set them off.
It was a nonstop thing with that. The same night, the Ouija board spelled out my name. The planchette flipped on us in the air when we were telling it goodbye. I mean, it was always that kind of wild activity for us there. And that just like a little clip of, you know, because the videos were so long, we would just take them from our lives that we were doing.
Yeah.
We always filmed everything we did.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, that's probably not a good thing that it flipped.
Yeah.
Was it counting down backwards in the numbers?
It spelled my name. That was it. I said, can you spell out anybody's name that is sitting here at the table? And it was myself, Savannah, and Jennifer, and it spelled Dawn. And I didn't send the video because I was cussing, because I was, I'm like, no way. And It was
Now,
like
did you guys close the
going
board
faster
properly?
than our hands. Like it would move without our energy over it.
Oh wow! I've used a Ouija board a lot in my life. I've never had that happen.
I
Yeah.
don't like
Oh.
using Ouija boards.
Oh, I have 2 boards from 1970s, and I've used the board that's over our bed right now. Actually,
I have a
I've
whole
used that a
bag
couple times.
full of them. I love
Um,
collecting them. So does Ron.
yeah. Hopefully, you guys close them properly.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay, that's the number one way to get a haunt.
is. Yeah.
People don't understand that. That just blows my mind. They sell it in the toy store. I
Yeah.
was like,
You gotta be they're a 13 and up toy.
I don't know.
Yeah. I
But-
think they say 8 years and up on the board.
Yeah. They got one that's a Hello Kitty Ouija board. I want it.
Yeah, there's it was like, oh, you got to be 18 to smoke, but 3
You know,
years
8
old to
years
summon
old to summon
demons.
a
and-
demon.
Yeah. It's wild. They would
Yeah.
sell it at Toys R Us.
Baby's
Yup.
first.
right next to Monopoly.
Yeah.
I remember.
Exactly.
I always
First
wanted my
spirit
mom to
board.
buy me one, but she never would. She's like, no, those things are not good. And I'm like, duh, that's why I want it. And she's like, you ain't haunting my house. When you have a house, you can haunt your house all you want.
Johnny has one.
Yeah.
He let us play with it, and we all got freaked out and threw it.
So we have a couple more videos. I know we're getting a little over the hour. But
Ooh.
what is your, oh my God, never forget you experienced that during an investigation? Like your favorite one to tell everybody?
Go ahead, Ron. I already know what yours is.
Well,
I
I
sent
already told
video.
one of them, but at the same place at the lodge there, we were, it was me, Dawn, and Doris. We were in a former teammate of ours, Danielle. The 4 of us were there upstairs, and I was walking, and I fell through the floor, just one leg. It wasn't the most structurally sound building, but
Yeah.
I took a step and I went down, and Dawn, she was near me. She starts freaking out, oh my God, Ron, are you okay? Oh my God, and Doris and Danielle, they started walking towards me. And at about the minute mark, I had the owner, he has a camera up there, whatchamacallit,
Infrared camera.
yeah, he had a camera up there. He had a couple of them in the place, but so I had him cut the video and send it to me so he could see me going down. And then at about the 1 minute mark from the time I went down, the spirit box on the other side of the room spoke and said, "Are you okay?"
Aww.
Or
Oh,
that
wow.
it said, hey, on an EVP.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it spoke, are you okay? And
Wow.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. I wish we would have gotten something like that at the Opera House when I fell.
Right?
One of my favorite
Yeah.
experiences is being at Beale Manor, and I had just brought this baby doll that I bought from a thrift store that I just knew I had to bring to this home. And we were videoing it, and you could see the baby doll's arm going up. So that was probably one of my favorites.
Did you send
Wow.
us that clip?
I did not send that one. I think I sent the one of Ron falling through the floor, though.
The doll that we got from Ohio from her mom,
His head moved.
it hasn't moved in a while. I put it back where it's supposed to be, but we've noticed that his head moves back and forth. And like,
He's staring directly at us right now.
yeah, his. We had just got a new bed, so we were laying on there testing it out.
I looked up
And we
I'm like,
looked
"That's
up,
really
and there's like
freaking creepy."
this much
Or
of
he's just staring
his
over it.
eyes and his hair literally peeking over the little band, like the headboard. And we're like, yeah, that's
I'm
probably.
uncomfortable.
I definitely don't want that watching you.
I'm like, I look up. I was like, this is really comfortable, but I'm not comfortable with that thing staring down at me.
Yeah.
We haven't had any dolls move, but like we were talking before we went live, our doll sets off the Buzz Lightyear toy.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the old 90s Buzz Lightyear toy. Like you actually have to hit the buttons for.
She likes the Buzz Lightyear and the cat balls.
It scared the crap out of me multiple times in the middle of the night going to the bathroom.
You know what? That's your payback for you scaring the crap out of me with the blink camera.
Yeah, that's true. Let's get into a couple more videos. Is this the same video? I might have downloaded it twice.
You did not play that one.
Was that the other one, Ron?
One
Where
down. That one.
through- I think this one's a different one. But
No, it was the same one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. She sent it to us. We'll play the whole thing, then we'll see.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that again anyway.
yep,
Yeah,
that
that
was
was the same
the same one.
It's the same one, but it's still
Yeah.
cool to
We
watch.
had
I love
another
watching that
where
video.
it walked.
Yeah, definitely. So she said I didn't play this one, so we'll play this one. Now, is that known to be opening closing or?
We all went out to dinner and we left some recorders running in there. And when we came back, Ron would always check the recorders. And it was quite a few times we would get this big old slam of a door, but we shut all the doors before we left because we didn't want to draft from a old drafty building to catch a door and contaminate our videos. So it was just one of the many different things that we would get from there.
That's cool.
That is cool.
I'm trying to get through all the videos.
We have
One
two more left.
Okay.
One more, and then the question of the week.
No, two more that they sent us. That one above it, right there, and then one below it.
Play the music box if it's okay if I come up.
Thank you, Mr. Kenner. See, it's right there on the floor.
Well, thank you for allowing me up here.
I want one.
I know I want one so bad. I just found the inside for it. And we have an old wooden coffin, like it opens.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
little
Yeah.
wooden box that's a coffin. I want to make my own.
That would
I
be
tell
cool.
everybody the cheap way to make them. If anybody ever wants links, I just send it to them.
Yeah.
That was
I
it.
feel like
That was
there's
it.
so much out there now that you 3D printers and all
Mhm.
that stuff. You really don't need $400 or $500 piece of equipment. It does exactly the same thing. I do want one though. I will spend that if I have it, but I'd like to make my own. Now, was that going towards the chair, like going towards the attic, or I was trying to see where the sensor was pointed towards?
It was not facing us as we were going up the stairs. It was facing the out wall. So we wouldn't
Okay.
have set it off coming up. We had it
Right.
facing away. That was at the Auglaze Village in the 2-story wooden log cabin there. And
Wow.
all the activity stopped at 10 p.m. on the dot in that cabin. Like the children went to bed and that was it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, no more music box, no more EVPs, nothing.
Wow.
Now, is that a common thing that you were told, or
We don't know.
it just happened?
We were saying we knew that the children would sleep up in that room, and we knew it was Mr. and Mrs. Kenner's cabin. But when we were talking to him, I think our questioning had led to, is it the children's bedtime? And we were told yes. And then after that, I mean, it was just complete silence. We couldn't get nothing more.
I
Wow.
mean, yeah, when the kids go to bed, the house goes quiet.
But I mean, that's like 15 buildings on this property, and that was just one of them. But at that particular one, it was
Yeah.
great to have it playing the music box because we asked it to, and then letting us know if we could come up the stairs, and it
Yeah.
responded with that.
Nice.
Wow.
That's cool.
And boy, people don't know what that was. It was a music box, and it's a motion censored. So you point it down a hallway or anywhere not towards you because it's motion. It sets off a motorized tune, I guess, like one of the old school like pin radios.
The music box.
The little, I think that's what it is, right?
Yes.
I mean, they're really good for motion wise, I think.
Oh yeah.
Our cat woke up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She comes in the screen. She's our little mascot. She's okay.
Aw.
We have one more video, and then we'll do the question of the week.
I may be a little dramatic.
I
That was really
mean,
I
I've
thought
never
he was going
gone through anything,
yeah.
but we did the opera house, and me being a stage tech my whole life and setting up bands, and I should have known, and I didn't even think about it to turn my headlight on when I went up on the stage, and I tripped over the little speakers that are in the front stage and smacked the stage. My whole face hit
Ooh.
stage.
He
and-
hit hard.
yeah, like everybody stopped the investigation. They're like, "Where's
Where was
Chris?"
that?
So
Shook the whole theater.
I haven't fallen through, but
Fallen.
I'm glad that you were okay.
Yeah.
We
Was
didn't
it
expect that.
it was just a weak part
You
in the
never do.
floor, or
Yeah.
We walked on that floor so many times, and I mean, there was boards for patches all over the place, and it was real soft wood. I mean, it was from the 1800s with no
Yeah.
update ever. So they were using it as an appliance store, but it was a Masonic lodge, and it was just so active, and the owners just wanted some answers, and that was a 6-month investigation that we researched it out on it and gave them our evidence with it. But when he went through that floor to have the spirit say, "Are you okay?" It
Yeah.
was just like, wow, it was mind
Yeah.
blowing.
That's awesome.
Hey, at least they care.
Yeah.
Right?
So this is part of the show right before we leave. Before I play this, I know you said you guys have an investigation this weekend. Is there anything that you would like to promote or
Your
just
YouTube,
shout out while
TikTok.
we're here live?
Well, go follow us on Facebook, the Ghost Whispers page, TikTok, Instagram, and we also are in a para-unity group with, it is called the Royal Wolf Whispers. It's part of Kings and Queens, Wolfpack Paranormal, and the Ghost Whispers. It's a page for anybody to, we created it for teams to share evidence on.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
it's welcome for everybody. We love doing charity work. We're always down to collab with other teams. We love helping any locations that we can. We just love to help. We really do.
Absolutely.
We love helping.
And we'll share all those links on our Facebook and our Underworld page for you guys also. Anybody that's watching right now, we want to greatly appreciate it.
No. We love our
Um,
video.
Go and like our stuff. We're here for you guys. This is all of our links. I'm still working on the Spotify. There's a couple interviews in there, but I will start getting into that.
We're getting there. We're slowly getting caught up.
And do you want to introduce the question of the week since
Yeah.
it was yours?
I just thought of a random question of the week.
It's a random question, all right.
But since we have a guest that goes from different locations to locations, I guess this counts.
So anybody in the comments, if you would like to answer this too, leave it in the comments below. Even if you're rewatching this, leave it in the comments. We want to know what you think.
We still see it.
And then we want to know what you guys think also of this.
Yeah.
So here's the question of the week. So the question of the week is, do you think spirits can move from location to location?
I think it depends on if they have a reason to.
Because I know, like in Gettysburg, they've done multiple investigations where the people from the kids and the main guy from the orphanage would move throughout the whole town and like go from like location to location.
Yeah.
I know you guys go from location to location and do little investigations.
Have you ever had a spirit follow you?
Do you guys get that kind of activity, or?
I've had talk to me in cemeteries and then show up at Eloise, but it's because it was Eloise's cemetery. I've also had my husband's grandmother go to locations with us and say her name, Ella May, in her voice, and speak to us and me directly.
Yeah.
So I do believe that. I think that if they have a connection to a person or a place that is so strong that it's easy for them to move to these places that they may
Right.
love, or they just want to hitchhike with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your take on it, Ron?
Well, I haven't had any experiences like that personally, but I do believe that they can move from place to place. I've been around Dawn for about a year and a half now, and I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I've witnessed, Ella May come through at a couple different locations. I know she had someone. We were at a cemetery, and she had a spirit. We had a spirit come through at the cemetery and go back to our location with us, and we've got that on video recorder as well, or not video recorder, audio recorder,
Right.
spirit box, and so yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, it is.
Absolutely. I believe the same thing. Cat's clawing my backpack. Sorry. But I would greatly appreciate you guys coming to hang out with us. We had so much fun talking to you guys.
Oh my god, we lost track of time. It's almost 10 o'clock. It's past 10 o'clock.
Oh, it is 10 o'clock. Oh, wow. Good conversation.
Yeah. Thank you guys so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us for season 5.
Definitely. And
Thank you
keep
for
track of
having
us.
Yeah.
Keep up to
we're
date.
always-
We want to know what happens in this investigation next week.
Yeah, keep us updated.
Thursday
we also
night
always change.
live starting around 8 p.m. We'll start going and doing our lives once we get our equipment all set up and settled in. So
Yeah.
Madison Seminary, Thursday night, 8 p.m. We'll have it live streaming on our Ghost Whisperer page, as well as a few team members that go on their personal pages also.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we can do a viewing.
Yeah,
party of
send me a link of that, and
I
we'll
will.
do a little watch party.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we can screen share and watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but greatly
guys so
appreciate
much.
you guys coming to hang out, and welcome to the Underworld family.
Yeah, keep an eye
Thank
out on
you.
our little interests because we're always changing it.
Thanks for having us on.
Little stuff that we find.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
But thank you guys so much for joining us.
and remember,
you.
always stay creepy.
We hope you have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Um,